Hello everyone. We were given 12 bags of oranges. And there's no way 2 people can eat 12 bags of oranges before they go rot. So you have to figure out how you're going to use those oranges instead of throwing them away. So here are some ideas. One, you can juice the oranges, which I did. I've gotten 2.5 gallons of juice so far. You can dehydrate the oranges like this, which are like, slices like this, chunks like this, chunks like that, little pieces. You can powder the oranges after you do the rind. You can blend them up, make nice little powders. You can do that. These will last for a long time, especially with oxygen absorbers in there to help out. Or you can zest them. You can also just take your orange and then zest it for cooking, and then dehydrate the zest. You can do little strips. I did smaller strips because it takes less time to dehydrate this than it does to dehydrate that. Some people don't like this white part in their cooking, so they zest them, or they cut everything off but the white and then try to dehydrate that. So far, I have gotten this big huge jar, this big huge gallon jar. I've got a quart size jar of the smaller strips, and I've got a quart full of the ground, and this one I'm working on, and 2.5 gallons of juice. I have 2 more bags left. These 2 have 8 oranges in them. Here's the other one down here on the floor. And I have this bag here. So I have 8 pounds plus a few extras laying around. So this time what I'm going to do is just cut slices like this. And I'm going to put them on my dehydrator tray like this. And then just dehydrate these. And because oranges don't keep maybe 3 days. I mean, we've had these for about 3 days, and I've stuck my fingers through 2 of them already because they rotted. So they're not going to stay good very long. So you've got to find ways to help them last a long time. And the only way I know that is one, freeze the juice. So the orange juice will go in ice cube trays and then get frozen. And then they'll go in gallon-sized bags after that. But even then, they'll get slimy on the outsides if you don't use them up within a fair amount of time, a few months maybe. Otherwise, they get that frosty stuff, gooky stuff that happens when you freeze things too long. Then we got to thinking, well, you can make marmalades and jams and things like that, but we don't eat bread or we don't eat jam. I haven't had jam in so long, I can't even remember the last time I had some jam. So that wouldn't work for us. But we do drink a lot of teas. So what I got to thinking, and the daughter, is that we would dehydrate the skins like this. And then we could put them into our iced teas and stuff and have flavored orange, in our teas. That would be amazing. And then as far as cooking, we could use some of this in the cooking. You can put them in when you make almost anything with a little bit of orange taste in it. You could even sprinkle some in your coffee and have a little orange flavored coffee. But they'd make really nice for teas. You can even eat these like this, just munch on them just like that. It tastes really good, just tastes like an orange, So you could do all that with them. And then zest them for fresh cooking. Could probably keep some for 3 to 4 days, but that's about. And they could go in fudge, all kinds of things. 100 different things you can use oranges for. Unfortunately, you have to dehydrate them in some fashion to make them last. So these are the ways we've decided to do it. Oh, you can also make facial creams, body scrubs. Like I said, a zillion ideas with oranges. None of them will go bad. Even when I juiced the pulp, I dehydrated, and that's where some of this came from, was the pulp. We didn't waste a thing. The only thing I threw away was that little stem guy that comes in the end sometimes. And that was it. Christmas, and all through the house you can smell orange peel in the air from dehydrating all these oranges. So once they're dehydrated to where I think they might be dry enough, I put them on a towel and then I check every single one before I put it in the jar, because I don't want mold to set in. So if there's by any chance any part of the orange that isn't dry enough, I'll leave it and put it back in the dryer for a little longer. I forgot to mention the other way that we're going to do it is once I cut these, I'm going to take some and I'm going to put them on this flat tray and I'm going to freeze them, and then these will go into a gallon plastic bag and we can put them on in our teas. So that's another way you can do it too. Once you allow the oranges to freeze on the tray, then you just take your little baggie and you put the oranges, kind of hard to do with one hand, put the oranges in the baggie, and then you'll have them froze for your drinks in the summer. So I did a couple layers, and now I'm just going to bag them up, but this way they don't stick to each other. There you go. 14 slices in each bag, and there's 5 bags. So this will be all for summer tea when it's 100 and some degrees. You'll love to have this in your cup of tea, or even just ice water. The thing to do with the oranges is freeze them in an ice cube tray. Once they're frozen, you put them in baggies, pop them in your freezer, and you'll have them for when it gets 100 and some degrees in the summer and you're begging for something cold. Okay, the last step to my process of dehydrating all these amazing oranges and having all this vitamin C is to put oxygen absorbers in the ones that I won't be using right away. I have the smaller pieces, and I have slices and chunks and rinds and dehydrated powders. So what I'm going to do is I have a package of 10 oxygen absorbers, and I'm going to try to cut this. It's hard to do with one hand, but I'm going to put these in here. Okay, so in the larger ones I'm going to put 2, and then in the smaller ones I'm just going to put 1, which will be fine. Now, what I want to do is I might end up dumping these into a bowl and putting one on the bottom and one on the top, but you don't need to see that part. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take care of these, and I'll show you what they look like when I'm all finished. But don't forget to put in oxygen absorbers, because then that will help keep them nice and not moldy. They won't mold and stuff that way. Okay? I think I'll stick 2 in that one. Alright, I'll show you what they look like when I'm finished. So here you go. I've got, let's see, I got oxygen absorber on the bottom. I've got one right here. Then I got a couple in here. And you can't see if it's up there. So all these will get stored now. And we have a ton of vitamin C for when there's no sun. And we have plenty of oranges to keep us for many months to come. Good luck on yours. Let me know how you all did and what you made out of it all. And don't give away, don't let things like this go by, 12 bags of oranges. Everybody talks about how you should stockpile, corn and wheat and flour and sugar and salt. But that's all good. But you also need things to make it taste good, and oranges, if all you have is water to drink, can't afford anything else. No more pop, no more liquor, no more teas, and all you have is orange peels. Throw a couple of these in a pot of just water and boil it. You'd have nice flavored orange water. So, it's something, Have a great day, everyone. Bye.